I had lived a long time, maybe 5, 6 years, with a really broken heart. My mom and dad had been killed in a tornado. And I'm thankful that I found Jesus not that long after they died. And so I was able to see the bigger picture. And I was kind of okay with the fact, as strange as it sounds, that even though I wanted them back and I wanted to be able to take my kids to see my parents or just go to my mom and dad's house to sit on the couch and watch a football game, simple things, that I wasn't going to be able to do that. I had peace in my mind, but I didn't have peace in my heart. I had a great big giant gaping wound in the middle of my soul. I missed them, and I had asked the Lord maybe 1,000,000 times to take that pain away and to just lift it, to give me a garment of praise for my heaviness. God, please, please, Lord, take it away, Father, take it away, Lord Jesus, heal it. And he didn't. And so I reached a point in my life where I just thought, well, Lord, your ways are not my ways. Your plan is better than my plan. And if you can get more glory from me being broken, then your will be done, not my will be done. And I just resigned myself to it. We were at our pastor's house having dinner with he and his wife and just kind of catching up, like, how's everything with you guys? How's everything with you? And, just basically doing everything's fine, everything's good, what's going on with you? And, my pastor Jim asked me, Shannyn, how you doing? He knew, because he knew me, that was always a hard time of year for me because it was coming close to the anniversary of the tornado. And I said, Jim, it is what it is. Then he asked my husband, Joseph, how is it for you, Joe, to have Shannyn feel this brokenness? He said, Jim, it's terrible. I don't know what to do. She sometimes just starts crying out of the middle of nowhere, and I can't do anything, and I can't fix it, and it's just really frustrating. It hurts me. My pastor looked at me, and he said, did you hear what he said? He said, it hurts him that you're hurt. And I said, Jim, I just don't know what I can possibly do about that. I've asked God 1,000,000 times to take it away, and he hasn't. Well, Shannyn, what helps? Does anything help? And I said, writing helps. And he said, okay. Does anything else help? And I said, praying helps. And sometimes just stopping and just focusing on my breath, just going, take a deep breath, take a deep breath in, take a deep breath out. Sometimes that helps. Well, okay, so let's do something. I love it. He was proactive. He was intentional. He suggested a next to write one thing. And he said, well, what about this? He said, writing helps, praying helps, breathing helps. How about this? Every day between now until Mother's Day, every time you start to feel that feeling, that panic, that emptiness, sit down, stop what you're doing, and write. Pray, breathe until it's over. And I was like, okay, I'll do it. And it was great. It's like a little bit of a reset button, on my day. At least a way to not get sucked into the undercurrent of how I was feeling at the moment, right? But what I was noticing then in that time was that the pain was actually I could feel it in my physical body. You can feel it, right? In your gut and your heart. I could feel that it was always there. The other part of the commitment was to get prayer every Wednesday night at small group and every Sunday after church. No matter, he says, if you're feeling fine, if you're feeling dandy, still, no matter what, every Wednesday, every Sunday, get prayer for this specifically. Go up and say, I have a brokenness because of the loss of my parents, and I would like prayer for healing in that matter. On a day 11, it was a Sunday, and I went up to the woman in the prayer ministry team, and I said the same thing. She's like, honey, what can I pray for you for? And I said, well, I lost my mom and dad in the tornado, and I've got this giant empty space inside of me, and then I started to cry, even though I thought I was fine. Always being the crying girl at church. And she says, well, what would you like the Lord to do? And I said, I just want the Lord to take it away. And she said, well, have you ever asked the Lord to fill it? And I said, no, I haven't. And she said, I'd like to pray that. And so she did. She prayed that the Lord would fill it. And, it wasn't like it wasn't like the earth shook or the clouds parted or anything like that. I just said thank you so much and gave her a great big hug and went home. But then the next day when it came time to sit down and write through my pain and my empty space, I realized that I didn't have it. It was gone. And I really focused, scanned, maybe it's just really small. Maybe it's gotten the size of a marble or a speck of sand. Where did it go? But I couldn't find it anywhere. So I just wrote a praise. I wrote a psalm of praise to the Lord because that was the first day in years that I wasn't feeling a giant gap in my mind, my heart, my soul, my spirit. I felt peace. I felt whole. I had spent almost 4,000 days of my life in brokenness. And it was like a brand new baby, oh, this is all new. I can't just survive, I can thrive in this place. I can help someone else now, And it was just incredible to me. God is amazing. And what he ended up doing then was taking that 40 days of writing that I started, I called it the healing season for myself because that's what it was. It was a season. It was the springtime, the tornado season, turned into my healing season. Today, what I do know is that I am a whole person and that it's been years now. It's been 5 years now, and I can continue to look at my heart and see that it continues to be whole and healed and healthy. I'm Shannyn Caldwell, and that is my intentional story.